graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I missed putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone. Graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I missed putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
All right, hello everybody. Hopefully y'all are doing well and having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. How's everybody in the chat? What's going on? Oh, man. Another Sixers game tonight. This is game number, 32 on the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. It's actually game number 33. This team is 13-19, and they're taking on a 13-21 Brooklyn Nets team, who, by the way, is missing Cam Johnson and also Cam Thomas. So this is a must-win game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Things were looking like they were on the come-up. And ever since Thanksgiving, you know, they went on a little bit of a run. They did really well against Boston. That was a huge win. The one before that against San Antonio was big. And then they started off the West Coast road trip fine, playing well against the Jazz, playing well against the Portland Trail Blazers. And then they go to Sacramento, and we obviously know what ended up happening and what ended up going down. And then Golden State happened, and they were not ready from the jump. So it's a clean slate today. You got to get onto the right foot. Okay? If they lose to this Brooklyn Nets team, we got a big problem. We got a huge problem. Again, no Cam Thomas, no Cam Johnson either. And both of those guys have been leading in the scoring for the both of them. Cam Thomas averaging about 25 points per game this year. And Cam Johnson, you know, a guy who's been very reliable, and Brooklyn is looking to trade him, but he's averaging about 19.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 3 assists as well. He's been balling lately. He really has. And Cam Johnson's been one of those guys that I've wanted for the Sixers for the last couple of years, but I don't know. It seems like the Brooklyn Nets are going to ask for a haul in return for Cam Johnson. But let's focus on tonight. Tonight we're going up against Ben Simmons and D'Angelo Russell. The number one thing about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Sixers need to do a good job at establishing Joel Embiid early on. Make Ben Simmons scared. That's what you got to do. Make Ben Simmons scared of the Sixers team. I want to hear from you all. I want to hear what your final score predictions are. How do you feel about this Philadelphia 76ers team? Are you overreacting to how they did in their last game? Do you think that the last game that they played was just a little bit of an overreaction? Do you think that you're underwhelmed with how they played in their last game? Are you nervous about how last game dictates the rest of the season? Please tell me your thoughts down below, because there are some people that are out there that are like, oh my gosh, the last time that they played against the Golden State Warriors, that was awful, and I'm concerned about this team moving forward. And then there's other people that are out there that are like, yeah, the last game that they played was really bad, but I'm not as concerned about them moving forward because it was just one game, along with the Sacramento Kings game. I don't know. I want to get your thoughts about that down below. I also put in my poll question today, because of the heated discussions going on with Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Are you willing to get Jimmy back to Philadelphia? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Do you want Jimmy Butler back in Philadelphia is my question that I have to you guys. And I would like to know down below. So, yes, Tyrese Maxey, he needs to have a good game tonight. He's going to be one of my little X factors in tonight's game. I did not like in the last game how he missed a lot of wide open layups. That's not usually like Tyrese Maxey, but he missed a lot of wide open layups, and he could not finish through contact. And that was a big problem in the very last game for the Sixers. And I think that tonight he needs to do a better job at cleaning that up. I also want to see him take more shot attempts. He only took 14 shot attempts his last time out there, according to my recollection. It was not much. So I need him to take shots. Need him to take more shots, and I need him to get more separation when he's out there in the open court and play to his size advantage. So we have a chance to end this road trip going 4-2. And I think that going 4-2 on this road trip is still a success when you look at it in totality. You started off the road trip on Christmas in Boston. Then you go to Portland. And then you go to and then you go to Utah, vice versa. Utah first, and then Portland. And we're 3-0. We should have been 4-0 in Sacramento, but we're 3-1. And then 3-2, obviously, in Golden State. So tonight is a must-win for the Philadelphia 76ers. If they don't win tonight, then we got big problems moving forward. Last time they played against the Brooklyn Nets, they put up 113 points. Jared McCain had 30 points and was 6 for 11 from 3. Tyrese Maxey also had 26 points in that game and 4 steals as well. But Cam Johnson went off against us, and so did Cam Thomas. So again, you're missing 2 key guys in this Brooklyn lineup. So there's no excuse as to why you can't beat this Brooklyn Nets team the way that things are right now. I want to read chat, and that's what we're going to do right now. I'll get some more comments about Joel Embiid, and I'll get to some more comments about Paul George, because they need to have a lot of conversations too. I will tell you this, before I do read chat, I was not stuttering when I said that Nick Nurse is on the hot seat now. He is on my hot seat. With the way that his team came out in the very last game, people want to say that, Joel Embiid came out flat. The head coach's job is to make sure that everybody's ready out there to play, and he has to make sure that everybody that is about ready to suit up needs to be in shape and in condition to go out there and ball. And he didn't do that. That's on him too. That's on him too. So he's on my hot seat, and it's not just from that game. It's just been throughout this whole entire season. The play calling, the just lack of adjusting with the lineups out there. Kyle Lowry playing him so many minutes and having him coach while he's out there. You know, all those problems. I stem that to Nick Nurse. So that's how I feel about that. Do you agree or disagree about Nick Nurse being on the hot seat? Is it too soon to put him on the hot seat? I think I've given him enough time. And last night's, or 2 nights ago's game was a big warning for me in that sense. Let's see. We got NJ Graff renewing his membership. Let's give him a round of applause for that. Let's do that right now. Nice. Very nice. Welcome back. Thank you so much for doing that. If you guys want to become a member, it's $2.99 a month. Get access to some awesome emojis, and you're going to get some more and more content on here exclusive just for you guys. 128-94, 76ers. I want to ring the bell tonight too, man. I do. I want to be able to play the song, and I want to ring the bell tonight because it should be an easy win. It really should be. It should be a stress-free game, and this should be a blowout for the Sixers. It better not be close. Better not come down to the wire. It needs to be a good shooting night for the role players. I don't care if Oubre is missing or not. 120-107, Philadelphia is Jane's final score. Who else? 117-107. Sixers, says Scott. Who else is a final score prediction? Who else wants to participate? My final score prediction is 130-95. Sixers. 130-95 is what I'm going to go with. Writing it down right now. I'm a Nets fan, says Josh, but they're doing so bad, says Josh. Dude, thank you so much for coming on over here, man. I really do appreciate you. I know the Nets are not having a good year at all. I don't know. It should be. This needs to be a game where you just go out there and you just say to yourself, Sixers need to dominate. I'm looking at Joel Embiid tonight too, and I'm saying to him, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to go for 40 points against Nick Claxton. You just got blown out by a Golden State Warriors team, and you lost your mojo against the Sacramento Kings where you didn't even play. You didn't even play in that game. You should go out there with hunger. You should go out there with poise. And I need to see that tonight from my big fella. Paul George, he is who he is. I would love it if he stepped up. I would love it if he made shots and was more aggressive in the fourth quarter. He is who he is. You take it or you don't. The two leaders of the team are Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, and they go as far as those two. Yeah, Nick hasn't really been impressive at all. So he's on your hot seat as well. Flexen's here. What's up, man? How you doing? Flexen, what are your final score predictions? Please let me know down below. I agree. Nick Nurse has never had the team when he arrived. That I disagree with because last year you could tell just from watching the game the types of play calls that he had. You could see his imprints on the game. You could tell that guys were bought on in. Right, you could see a lot of the play calling. You could see the adjustments in the rotations. And we gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying that, well, Tobias Harris had to be played because he's a max contract player. That's why they didn't play Ricky Council and all those other things. But this year, what I see is when I'm watching him out there and I'm listening to his press conferences, he looks like a zombie. He looks like he just doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't have the team anymore. He's lost the locker room. He has. Even with Embiid back out there now, things obviously have looked better. But as somebody that would literally draw up plays after timeouts time and time again last year, I trusted him because they always executed like I would say about 90% of the time, the Sixers could make a nice play out of a timeout and execute very, very well. This year, when they're coming out of timeouts, They're not executing at a high level, and don't even know what the play call is half the time because there's a lot of iso ball movement. There's not a lot of down screens, right? Like, there's not a lot of people that are moving away from the basketball, and that's my problem with Nick Nurse, along with the rotations and along with the short leashes for the young guys. He wasn't doing that last year. This year he's doing that, and I can't seem to understand why. So, but yeah, final score predictions. Make sure you know down below. Sixers got to stop messing around. No, bro, they do. They got to stop messing around. And tonight, they need to wake up. They need to blow out the Nets tonight, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. All right, so we are going to get into the starting lineups as the Sixers are out there. It's Maxey, Yabusele, Martin, George, and Joel Embiid. And then for the Brooklyn Nets, it'll be D'Angelo Russell, Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Zaire Williams, and Nick Claxton all out there for the Brooklyn Nets. Sixers and Nets are going to be getting underway in just about a few minutes. Sixers are in their white and blue jerseys. They have the white on the outsides and the blue Phila text on the front, right on the chest. And then below that is the jersey number, painted in blue, outlined in red as well. And they got the blue and white stars going down each side of the jersey on the tops and the bottoms. Sixers have got to limit the amount of turnovers that they can. Now, turnovers weren't necessarily a problem in the last game, but they gave up so many screens and they just could not play at a fast pace and keep up with the tempo that Golden State provided. Now, the Brooklyn Nets are in their black and white uniforms. They have the white text of Brooklyn in pretty big font on the front side of the chest. And then you got the jersey numbers on the bellies and the white letters and jersey numbers on the back. Embiid wearing his mask out there for the Sixers, going up against Claxton, who wins the tip-off, and D'Angelo Russell has it for Brooklyn, who gets a lot of wide open space for three. And the Sixers start off on the wrong foot on the defensive side. They left him wide open on the left wing, and it's 3-0 Brooklyn. So the Sixers are going from right to left, or actually from left to right, that is. The Nets are going from right to left, and they'll be going from left to right in the second half. Beads over at the nail, now on the foul line extended, takes it down over towards the block, puts up a step-back jumper, and could not get it to go. Rebound by Brooklyn. So Embiid settling for a jump shot already. Want him to try to be more aggressive. Here's a three-pointer that's up and in, bullseye, and that makes it 6-0. That shot right there was by Zaire Williams, who was able to knock down the three-pointer. Maxey gets some space. Dribble handoff to Embiid. Embiid back to Maxey for a three. And in and out it goes. Another rebound by Brooklyn. So the Sixers were able to get a wide-open J from beyond the arc. And Tyrese Maxey fired it just a little bit too quickly. His feet weren't set and could not knock it down. Dribble handoff from Claxton over to Russell, and Russell with an alley-oop pass over to Claxton, and he lays it up and lays it in. Already an 8-0 run by the Brooklyn Nets in this game. Sixers are playing at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Maxey tries to go up with a layup, and he could not get it to go. Had a lot of space. Russell on offense, hands it off. There's a wide-open three-pointer that's up and in by Williams. And the Sixers are down 11-0. Again, it's like they're picking off from these last two games. That's beautiful. Nets are 4 for 4 on the floor so far from the field. Here's George with a catch-and-shoot three. And finally, he puts the Sixers on the board. PG, who averaged about 16 points per game during the last 4 games on the road for the Sixers, able to knock down his first three-pointer. Claxton with a handoff over to Russell again for a three-pointer, and Joel Embiid grabs his miss. Again, Russell had some space. He found daylight and dodged a bullet, the Sixers that is. George with a Martin three-pointer, and Martin hits a line drive laser and is able to hit it from beyond the arc. 11-6. As the Sixers have responded on a 6-0 run. Sixers come away with a steal from a bad pass by D'Angelo Russell. Martin has it And he tries to go coast to coast. Count the bucket and a foul. It was an 11-0 run by Brooklyn, and the Sixers have already, within the blink of an eye, responded with an 8-0 run. And Martin will try to put the Sixers down by 2 at the line, and he'll go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. Martin already with 5 points, 29 years old, went to Nevada College. This is his 5th season in the NBA. Started off his career, of course, with the Miami Heat. The foul shot by Caleb. He knocks it down with ease.
Excellent.
All right, so that is good for Philadelphia, 11-9, and we've only played about 3 minutes so far in this game. There's a floater that is too strong by Claxton, and Embiid able to elevate and holler the miss, or corral the miss, that is. Embiid gets it down low on the block, and he lost the ball. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Brooklyn basketball. Thomas downhill, or that is Williams downhill over to Claxton, and he makes a wide-open dunk, and Brooklyn puts an end to the 9-0 scoring run by Philadelphia. Already 13-9. Brooklyn still in the driver's seat so far. Martin tries to swing it over to Paul George. It's intercepted by D'Angelo Russell. And Russell almost got it knocked away by Caleb Martin, but it gets knocked out of bounds instead over towards the near sideline. So the Sixers, well, so far 6 points for Caleb Martin and 3 points for Paul George. Zaire Williams also has 6 points. And Claxton has 4, and Russell has 3. Those are all the scoring plays so far between both teams. We have an offensive rebound that goes to Claxton and Embiid. Joel Embiid, did he get issued a tech on him? He got pushed and shoved a little bit, and Joel Embiid is not happy. Embiid's not happy. The referee issued a technical foul on him. And he says, you got to keep your cool, man. Got to keep your cool. Embiid tried to gather the rebound and went into the hands of Claxton. And Embiid tried to get the ball from Claxton. And there was some chirping back and forth. And it's 13-9 Brooklyn. So they called it a turnover. It is a technical foul on Joel Embiid too. And Russell's going to head over to the charity stripe, and he'll try to make a free throw. And he can't. He misses it. Goes in and out. Need our mojo back. What's up, Rising Rhino? Willie Snyder's here. What's going on? Thank you. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it very, very much. You guys are the best. Start the three-point counter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so it's 13-9. We also have a jump ball over at Brooklyn's foul line, and the Sixers, they get it. It was Embiid going up against Claxton, and the ball goes into the hands of Paul George. Here's Maxey over on the near wing at the Barclays Center sign. Sixers again going from left to right. Embiid gets it down low on the block, puts it up, and puts it in. It was an 11-0 run by Brooklyn, and then the Sixers put up 9 straight points. It's now 13-11. Brooklyn still up front. A catch-and-shoot three-pointer is off the mark, and Yabusele tries to elbow and scratch and claw for the rebound off the missed shot by Zaire Williams. Maxey gets the outlet pass. George for 3. Too strong. Martin, offensive rebound for the Sixers. Swings it over to Yabusele from a far wing 3. No good. Embiid, offensive rebound for the Sixers. He's double-teamed. He spins. He turns. Good footwork by Embiid as he puts up a baby hook and ties the game. 13-13 is the score. Russell gets the dribble handoff over from Claxton. Claxton trying to provide the screen for D'Angelo Russell. Here's a floater by D'Angelo. That's way off the mark. And Joel Embiid with his 4th rebound of the ball game. Tyrese Maxey gets it downhill, tries to beat everybody to the punch, and he can't do so. He gets it blocked and rejected by the Nets. Again, Claxton finds some daylight. Embiid just stands there like a cone and just gets by, Claxton that is, and gets himself a layup to put Brooklyn back up top, 15-13. Maxey catches, lets it fly for three, off the mark, and Claxton grabs his miss. A handoff to Russell. He tried to give it up downhill over to the center, Claxton, and Claxton was not even looking, and it went out of bounds. So the Sixers able to dodge a bullet, because Claxton was not looking for the dump-off pass downhill. He would have had a wide-open dunk, and the Nets are going to call for time. Sixers down by 2. It's 15-13 at the Barclays Center. Okay, 6 minutes and 35 left to go. Oh, boy. Wow, what the heck? JJ, top scoreboard needs attention. What's up with the top scoreboard? 15-13. What's up with the top score? I think it's right. It's right. How many threes for Golden State? 26. Already got 3 in this. I know. It's a three-point shooting clinic, man. Like, that's how the game is going now. It's not. It's a different ball game, man. It's just a different game. The last time that these two teams played, it was on November 22nd, by the way. We mentioned that Jared McCain had 30 points for the Sixers. And, of course, you know, he's out for the foreseeable future for Philadelphia. Was up there in the Rookie of the Year conversations. But the Sixers, they shot 16 for 43 from 3. And the Nets put up 13 threes, and they were 13 for 37. So with the way that the game is going, there's no surprise that that there were 83s in that game. And they took a combined, 171 shots from the field. So that's just the way that it's going now. Sixers also out-rebounded the Brooklyn Nets 40-34 in that ball game. And Cam Johnson had 37 for the Brooklyn Nets in that outing. They play each other 2 more times after this. The next one will be February 12th, and that'll be at the Barclays Center once again. And then Game 4 of the season will be on February 22nd, and that'll be back at the WFC, the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, and turn on the notification bell icons. We got the football score downhill, down low, downhill. I'm thinking of basketball terms. Down low, we have the football score. Baltimore leads at 14-3. If you guys want to give us updates about which yard line they're at, just during the game, you're more than welcome to do that. And then after that game is done, I know that we got the 8 o'clock game tonight, and we'll make sure that we switch the scores and put that game on. Hit that thumbs up button. Maxey over his last 9 games for the Sixers, averaging 28 points per game, and has not been shooting as highly as you would like. Shooting 44% from the field. That has to be up a little bit more. And the three-point shooting has been under 40% too. So here we go. Sixers have the ball back after the first timeout that was burned by Brooklyn. And the Sixers have the ball. So here's Maxey with a dribble handoff over to George. George gets it on the near wing, finds Embiid with a behind-the-back bounce pass over to Joel. Joel takes it downhill and goes over towards the left side of the wing, puts up a Dirk Nowitzki jumper, and knocks it down. A 1-foot jump shot by Joel Embiid. That was the Dirk special. That's what they call it. So the Sixers are tied 15-15, less than 6 minutes to go. Russell with a teardrop, and that's way too strong. Embiid corrals the miss. I mean, Joel's doing a very good job on the glass, 5 rebounds. He's 3 for 5 as well from the field. Maxey's over at the logo. Drip pass over to Joel Embiid. Embiid goes downhill, and he rolls to the basket and dunks it. Embiid going in flight mode, and we haven't seen that in quite some time. So Joel Embiid putting the Sixers up by 2. 17-15, Sixers lead it by 2 points. Here's a that's Clowney spinning and turning and trying to go into the lane. Embiid, good defense. is able to box him out. George gets the rebound off of the missed shot. Here's Caleb Martin out in transition, who lets it fly and cashes it in from the near corner from long distance. 20-15, a totally different Sixers team in this second half of this first quarter. Really, it's unbelievable. Jalen Wilson out there for the first time for Brooklyn. Gets it off of a catch-and-shoot three by Claxton. Way off the mark. Embiid rebound, outlet pass over to Yabusele. He overthrows it. The pass is incomplete, and it goes out of bounds. Embiid was the quarterback. Yabusele was running downhill like he was a wide receiver, and Embiid tried to get a touchdown pass over to him, and that was way out of his reach. Okay. And again, there we go. Pick and roll. Let's go, man. Am I covering the Eagles game tomorrow? What do we cover on this channel? We do the Sixers, the Eagles, and the Phillies. Oh, yes, we're doing the Eagles game tomorrow for sure. Absolutely. Jackson is in there for the Sixers as he comes on in for Gershon Yabusele. And Brooklyn able to finally knock down a shot as they're able to get, who's that, Tyrese Martin involved. The UConn Husky, who's 25 years old, former UConn Husky that is, and was a draft pick, a second-round draft pick by the Golden State Warriors once upon a time. Embiid gets it downhill over on the block, tries to take it over towards the cup, and he does with the right hand, just a little bit underneath the basket. Was able to get it up and in. 22-17 turnover called on Brooklyn, and that was thanks to a travel on Wilson. So the lineup out there for the Nets, you got Jalen Wilson out there. You also have Toussaint Ebomwan, who's from Princeton and is 23 years old, only averaging about 6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds. He is shooting 50% from the field. Here's George with a step-back mid-range jumper. Bullseye! He knocks it down! 24-17. A little floater by Wilson. Got it to go. Sixers have got to put bodies on these guys that are in the mid-range. Whenever they try to go up with a floater, it's not a layup. You know, you put up a little teardrop, and they just don't get bodies on them. Embiid settling for a jump shot. He is fouled, though. He is fouled with about 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go in this first quarter. Also have Day'Ron Sharpe out there for the first time. I got to see Day'Ron Sharpe when he was a Long Island Net. He's now 23 years old. Was drafted by the Phoenix Suns back in 2021 and then was traded to the Brooklyn Nets organization, and that's when I got to see him play back in 2021. 6 feet 9 inches tall, 265 pounds. Here's Embiid at the line. Foul shot number 1, good. Joel in this game, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block as well in this quarter so far. Also just as 1 turnover. Plus minus on the stat sheet is +6, which is what you want. He has the mask on his afro. Makes the first free throw a 95% foul shooter. He's at the line for 1 more. The second foul shot, good as gold. Excellent. 7-point lead for Philadelphia. Embiid with 12 points, 5 for 7 shooting-wise tonight from the field. Jackson plays good defense as the ball goes into the hands of Mbomwa. And there's a 2-point shot that's up by Tyrese Martin, and he can't even hit the rim. George got the rebound. Jackson out in transition. Hands it off over to Justin Edwards, who's out there for the first time tonight for the Sixers. George gives it up over to Embiid. Embiid spinning, rolling again towards the basket. Can't get the friendly roll, though. Tries to volleyball it into the hands of Kyle Lowry, and Lowry, for some reason, just volleyballed it into the hands of Tyrese Martin. Didn't even have to do that. He just could have caught the rebound. Now, the Nets go out in transition, and we do have a foul called. It'll be on Philadelphia, and the clock stops with 2:26 to go. It was Keon Johnson who ended up getting the defensive rebound. Sixers again up by 7 points with less than 2.5 minutes remaining in quarter number 1. And we have a timeout called by Philadelphia, and they'll be back in just a little bit. All right. Let's X out of this. And let's do this again. Would you trade for Jimmy Butler? Is the question. 68% of you say yes. 32% of you say no. Why yes? Why no? Please let me know down below. Why would you want Jimmy Butler back? Why don't you want Jimmy Butler back? I want you guys to elaborate on your thoughts about it. All right? Please tell me down below. Why do I think Jimmy Butler would be good coming back to the Philadelphia 76ers? I think that he would love to play with Joel Embiid. He said that he's always wanted to play with him again. And I feel like he would be hungry, and it would be a perfect fit for Jimmy, just for his ego. Why I don't think it would be a good thing for Jimmy Butler to come back now is how much does he have left in the gas tank? He's not really taking a lot of three-point shots. He's a very good closer, but I like the fact that Paul George does shoot threes. Jimmy can, but he doesn't take a lot of them. He doesn't chuck up shots. He doesn't take a high volume amount of threes. Paul George does. That's the one thing I like about Paul George. But yes, let me know what your thoughts are down below about it. I would, but it would never happen. Jimmy will never come back to Philly, says Illy. Grace says, I love the connection between Jimmy and Joel. He pushes Joel to get the best out of Embiid. I agree with that. I do. But is Jimmy Butler the right fit with the rest of these guys? We don't need 3 points. We need a winning mentality. That's a fair point. Does Jimmy bring that nowadays, though? Like, does he still has to... I don't like getting older guys. I really don't. But do you think that Jimmy has enough left in the gas tank to help the Sixers get to the Eastern Conference Finals? I asked it. Does he move the needle for the Sixers to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals? That is the question. I don't know. All right, let's put the Ninja Chat back up. All right, so here we go. Paul George with an elbow jumper again. Can't seem to get that one to fall. 26-19 is the score. Does Jimmy Butler have enough to get the Sixers back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Ellie says nope. Okay. What do you say? All right. 26-19 is the score. Here's Deron Sharp, who got the defensive rebound off the bad shot. Now the Sixers are on a 13-4 run. Brooklyn can't put up a point on the board that time around on the offensive side. Embiid throws it into the backcourt, swings it over to Paul George. It was supposed to go to Reggie Jackson. Jackson saved it from going into the backcourt. George trying to go up with a foul line jumper, and that is short. Rebound again by Keon Johnson. Dribble handoff again over to to Noah Clowney, that is, and the ball goes out of bounds. It was supposed to go to Tyrese Martin. Jimmy won't accept a losing mentality. He will talk to the players till they are motivated. But does he get them back to the Eastern Conference Finals, is my question. Does he get them back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Yes or no? Can he? I think he can. But will he? I don't know. Here's a catch-and-shoot three by Brooklyn over on the other side. And that shot is bricked by Deron Sharp. 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. George swings it out over to Embiid for a wide-open three. Yes! 29-19. Sixers up by 10. Sixers are shooting 4 for 10 from downtown. Brooklyn 3 for 7. Another three-pointer by Brooklyn, making now 3 for 8. As the three was way off by Keon Johnson, the ball goes out of bounds, and the Sixers grab the rebound. There's George, who catches, lights it up from 3 again. No good. 29-19. Tyrese Martin got the rebound, outlet pass over to Noah Clowney. 14 seconds left to go. Good defense by Kyle Lowry. Now Paul George wants to step up all over his defender Keon Johnson. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. 5.8 seconds to go on the game clock, and we have a reach and foul called. Does he get them back to the Eastern Conference Finals? We'd be better off with Duncan Robinson. Do you think that Duncan Robinson at this point is better than Jimmy Butler? Interesting. That's a hot take. 5.8 seconds left to go. Here comes Tyrese Martin over at the top of the key. Puts up a three-pointer. Doink. Reggie Jackson rebound. And that's going to do it. We go into quarter number 2. Sixers do lead it by 10 points. It's 29-19 out in Brooklyn. They'll be back in just a little bit. We're going to step aside and be back very shortly. Well, Sixers are up by 10 points. That was a very bizarre first quarter. Sixers were down 11-0 to start things off in the first couple of minutes, and then they went on a 9-0 run, and they responded. And now they have a 10-point lead as they go into quarter number 2 out at the Barclays Center. So far, Joel Embiid in this game has had a very good first quarter. He was able to get some rebounds. He had a nice dunk. He's able to get more so in flight mode, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Did have 1 turnover, was a plus 10 out there for the Sixers, and was able to score over half of their points. That's what you want from your big man. Caleb Martin also had 9 points and was very good from 3. Here's Tyrese Maxey, who gets the outlet pass, and he tries to go up with a shot, and he's fouled. Now, Tyrese had a very quiet first quarter. He only put up 2 shot attempts from 3, and he's going to go to the line to try to get 2 free throws. Lineup out there for the Philadelphia 76ers. It's Tyrese Maxey, Justin Edwards, Andre Drummond, Kyle Lowry, and Reggie Jackson. So, Jalen Wilson is out there for the Brooklyn Nets, along with Tassan Evbomwan. And then you got Day'Ron Sharpe, Noah Clowney. Day'Ron Sharpe just subbed on out. And now it's Reese Beekman, who is in there for the Brooklyn Nets. And the second foul shot by Tyrese Maxey is good.
Excellent.
It's now 31-19. So Embiid is over on the bench for the Philadelphia 76ers. Good ball movement by the Brooklyn Nets. A catch and shoot 3 is way off the mark. It's by Wilson. Wilson can't hit it on the near wing. Jackson with a little pick and roll over to Andre Drummond. And Drummond goes downhill and throws it down. Got it with two hands, man. 30-3 to 19. Andre Drummond able to rock the rim. We've only played 50 seconds in this second quarter. That's providing some good ball movement and some great dribble penetration as well. A catch-and-shoot three-pointer is bricked again by Wilson. Wilson 0 for 3 from downtown. Missed a 28-foot jumper in between the rings. Maxey trying to work around the screen. Now steps back, takes it downhill again. Tries to go up with a little floater and can't get it to drop. Another rebound by Brooklyn. It was Wilson who got it, but he gets fouled into the Nets front court by Justin Edwards. Edwards he's been getting more playing time ever since Kelly Oubre has gone down. And that's a guy, Kelly Oubre, who's been very solid on the defensive side of the rim for Philadelphia. He's been getting a lot of steals, and he's been doing a good job at just providing a lot of physicality on the defensive side, too. Here's a two-point shot off the mid-range. That's good by Brooklyn. That was Noah Clowney again who got it for the Nets. Maxey over to Justin Edwards, who spins, tries to roll over towards the basket, lays it up, and lays it in. 35-21. A good job by Justin Edwards. Parting the Red Sea is Clowney, and he is able to put it up and in for Brooklyn over on the other side. 35-23. Maxey downhill. Handoff over to Lowry. One more to Reggie Jackson off the catch and shoot. Hits off the front iron, and it just could not trickle in. It bounced right in front of the rim. On the rebound, it's Noah Clowney again. There's a shot that's up by Clowney. He can't get it to go. Tyrese Maxey got the defensive rebound. Lowry downhill over to Andre Drummond, who got the ball knocked loose by Clowney and stolen by Clowney as well. There is a foul called, though. It's a very, very late whistle, and they're going to call it on Clowney. They've got called for a double dribble, so it'll be a Sixers ball once again. Besides Butler, who do you think could be very impactful for the Philadelphia 76ers? That's a very good question. I would like Cam Johnson, but I know that they're going to ask for a haul for that guy. I don't know. I don't know who could be the saving grace for the Sixers right now. The best case scenario, and this would be a home run deal, is Steph Curry, and that's not going to happen. Tyrese Maxey gets it over on the left side of the wing, tries to go with a shot, count the bucket, and a foul. Tyrese Maxey with a little sky hook, able to put it up and in. Hit off the very top of the box of the backboard. Then it just ran off over towards the front side of the rim and was able to just wiggle on in at the last second. So good job by Maxey, and he'll earn his stripes at the line. 9 points by the Sixers in this second quarter. Caleb Martin will be the substitute for Kyle Lowry. 4 points for Maxey all in this second quarter. Make it now 5 points for Tyrese.
Excellent.
Could we do trades in cash for Cam, though? No, it'd have to be matching contracts. They're gonna want a haul. They've already said that they want draft picks and they want a lot of pieces back for him. Tyrese Martin for three. Won't go. Offensive rebound, though, by Clowney, and he scoops and scores. That's actually Jalen Wilson is able to put it up and put it on in. 2 points for Jalen Wilson, the 24-year-old former Kansas Jayhawk. He's 6 feet 6 inches tall, 220 pounds, averaging just under 9.5 points this year. Maxey on the near wing, swings it out over to Martin. One more to Drummond for a catch-and-shoot three. No good. And a rebound by Brooklyn. Here they come on the other side. 4-on-3 basketball for the Nets. Edwards lost it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch, though, by Tyrese Maxey, and still Brooklyn ball. So you got Beekman, actually, that was out there and just lost the ball. Tyrese Martin in this game, 8 points. He's only averaging 6.5 points per game just this season. Played with the Atlanta Hawks in 2022-2023 and then missed last year. Was out for the full season. Eric Gordon will come on in for the Sixers, and Justin Edwards will take a quick breather. 8 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the second quarter. Day'Ron Sharpe back out there, being guarded heavily by Andre Drummond. Wants to hand it off over to he actually got it back. He handed it off over to his teammate Tyrese Martin. Then Martin tried to hand it back off over to him, but it went off of his knee, and Tyrese Maxey came away with a steal. He's at the top of the perimeter. He's conducting the traffic. Here's Gershon Yabusele over on the block. He gets double-teamed, and a catch-and-shoot three by Caleb Martin is off. 38-25 is the score. All right. Another dribble handoff that goes over to Day'Ron Sharpe. Here's Beekman, who goes downhill. Drummond got the ball blocked, and we have a whistle called. This Brooklyn Nets team, again, they're missing a lot of guys. They're missing Ben Simmons, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson. A lot of big key pieces in their lineup. Also, no Trendon Waterford either. Trendon Watford, I should say, who's been coming off the bench for them too. He's 24 years old. This is his third NBA season. Caleb Martin got called for a shooting foul. And we'll have some free throws being shot by the Nets. 7 minutes and 42 seconds left in exchange in this second quarter. Foul shot number 2 is good to make it 38-27. No shots are good by Keon Johnson, as he's able to knock both down. Tassan Evwamwan comes back on in for Brooklyn. Here comes Andre Drummond as he gets the ball rejected by Day'Ron Sharpe. Caleb Martin still has it, though, down on the near corner. He tries to spin, fade away with the shot clock expiring from the elbow. Yes! Caleb Martin had a hand in his face, and he could have blindfolded them, and he still would have made it and swished it. Just incredible anticipation and really good athleticism there and good concentration as well. A little pick and roll by Keon Johnson, and instead of just picking, he'll just roll it all by himself. 40-29 as he's able to lay it up and in and part the Red Sea. Martin thought about taking the three, steps inside towards the mid-range, and he's fouled. It'll be a shooting foul on Keon Johnson and a timeout burned again by the Nets. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in quarter number 2. Sixers have 40 points. The Nets have 29. They step aside, and they'll be back in just a little bit. I'm going to take a 1-minute break. See you soon. We're back. It's Sixers 40. It's Nets 29. I'm Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ, where we cover Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles games on this channel. Do me a solid. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you're tuning in on Twitch, I appreciate you so much for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Let's see if anybody is commenting over on Twitch. If I'm missing anybody. If I am, I do apologize. I will read your comments right now. Let's view the stream. Let's mute this tab. And where is our chat? Where's our chat? Oh. I can't see it. Okay. I gotta go back to Twitch, I guess, and see if it's right over there. Because it refreshes it on Restream, which is not really what you want. You know, it's not really what you want at all. We got one trendy X. You think Ben Simmons will get under 20 points plus assists plus rebounds? Yeah, I don't think he's playing today, man. Do you also think that Embiid will get over 10 rebounds? I do. I do think that he will get over 10 rebounds. Sorry that I just saw this a little bit later. I need to keep this chat open because guess what? I want to grow my Twitch community as well. I love my Twitch followers. It means a lot, you know, that they're able to tune on in and come aboard. You know, it's really, really awesome. I want to ask you guys, and you don't have to answer this, but for the first time this year, I did a New Year's resolution list. Okay, I've never done it before. I went all out this year. Okay, I like to make a lot of. I wanted to make a lot on my list. Okay, I have like my own things, and I put about over 250 things on this list because I'm crazy and because I'm a wild person. And I have some, you know, I like to be creative and I like to come up with ideas. And it doesn't really stress me out, but I do want to know what's something that you guys want to try to do this year that you haven't done in any year. So comment down below if you'd be willing to share. Caleb Martin's going to the line. And the first foul shot bricks it off the back iron. We got the Eagles tomorrow afternoon. Game will be at 1 o'clock. We'll be on for 12:45. At 12:45. And then we're going to do the Vikings game tomorrow night. Game starts at 8:15 or 8:30. We'll be on at 8:15. Second foul shot by Caleb Martin, and that is no good either. So he misses both free throws. Sixers do get an offensive rebound, and Yabusele gets fouled. It's a loose ball foul on Nick Claxton. And Gershon, it looks like he's over at the line. I don't know if he's going to shoot free throws. The Sixers aren't in the bonus or anything, not that I see. So the Sixers will get the inbound pass, and the ball goes out of bounds. Yabusele tried to inbound it to the Sixers, and it ended up going into no man's land. So we got one person tuning on in. We need 7 more followers over on Twitch to get to 120 followers. And again, I'm going to keep this chat up here. Here's a catch and shoot 3. That's up and in to make it 40-32. That is Sharp, who's able to knock it down. I almost said Shadon Sharp. That's Duron Sharp, who's able to cash in from 3-point range. Martin dribbles over towards the far elbow, puts up a mid-range elbow jumper, and knocks it down. Couldn't make the 2 free throws, but then goes over to the foul line extended, is able to make that shot. Caleb Martin on the fast break for the Sixers will try to lay it up and in. He does! Caleb Martin putting up a 4-0 run for Philadelphia. Let's see the Martins in the chat. 15 points for Martin. A response with a thunderous 3 by Brooklyn over on the other side. And that is Duron Sharp again, 44-35. Yabusele over at the top of the key for the Sixers. Dumps it off to Martin, who's on the far wing at the 3-point line. Wants to penetrate on the offense for the Sixers. Hands it off to Andre Drummond. And Caleb Martin has been responsible for the last 6 points that the Sixers have scored on offense. Embiid waiting to check back in. He's over at the scorers table. Duron Sharp catches, lets it fly for 3. And it's Tyrese Maxey who gets it from Andre Drummond. Drummond got the rebound, and Drummond shovel passed it over to Tyrese Maxey. 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the second quarter, and we have a foul called on Brooklyn. The Sixers are in the bonus, and some free throws will be coming up in just a little bit. What's going on, Max? How you doing, Max? How are you doing, my friend? No Lakers tonight. Oh, wait, maybe there is a Lakers game tonight. Hold up. Nope, no Lakers tonight. So who do you got? So tomorrow, are you doing the Lakers and are you doing the Packers tomorrow too? Or are the Packers on tonight? Let us know what's going on down below. Foul shot number 1 is good. 47-35 is the score. Sixers lead it by 12. Drummond is at the line. First foul shot, he hit it. Zaire Williams will come on in. And if Blumwan will go on over to the bench. Embiid and George back out there for the Sixers as Martin and Yabusele will take a seat. Caleb Martin is the hot hand. Why would you put him on the bench now? I don't know. Second foul shot by Andre Drummond is up and in.
Excellent.
48-35, and the Sixers on the other side draw a foul, and it'll be Johnson who gets fouled. They'll head on over towards the line to shoot 2 free throws. It's not Cam Johnson. That is Keon Johnson, the 22-year-old former Tennessee player. Oh, no, I don't stream on Sundays unless it's the Yankees, says Max. I got you, man. Foul shot number 1 is good by Keon Johnson this year, averaging 7.5 points per game. This is his second year as a Brooklyn Net. Played his first year, his rookie year, as a LA Clipper, and then played 2 years with the Portland Trail Blazers. Foul shot number 2 off the mark. And the Sixers have the rebound. Tyrese Maxey gets the ball not to loose and stolen by D'Angelo Russell. Outlet pass over to Johnson, who gives it up to Claxton on an alley-oop pass, and he drops off a dime to Nick Claxton as he throws it down with ease. George for the Sixers goes into a mid-range jumper and connects the dots and puts the Sixers at 50 points. So Paul George in this game, 7 points for him, 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Sixers get a steal. Drummond to George. George to Maxey for 3. No. Sixers lineup. How about this? It's Gordon, Maxey, George, Embiid, and Drummond. They have Embiid over at the 4. They go to the Twin Towers for the first time this year. There's a foul called on Philadelphia. Zaire Williams tried to put up a little 10-foot jumper, and the Nets did not touch it last. The Sixers did. So it goes out of bounds. And we have a foul called. I don't know who was on, but some free throws coming on up for Keon Johnson. He's been very active in this game. Only 5 points, though, 4 boards, 3 assists as well. Can the Sixers save this season, bro? What is going on? It's a very good question. I don't know. I still can't understand what happened in that collapse against Sacramento, and then that mollywop performance that the Golden State Warriors did on the Sixers. I don't know what the heck happened. Zaire Williams at the line. Foul shot number 2, doink. And Embiid gets the rebound as it goes in and out of the bowl. I don't know, man. George tries to step back and cross on over 3 times. He's on the near wing, being guarded by Johnson. Gets a screen set by Embiid. He steps back, puts up a 3-pointer. It's short. Caleb Martin, offensive rebound. Eric Gordon tries to go downhill over to Embiid, and we have a foul called on Nick Claxton. Good ball movement by the Sixers. That was something that they were not doing a good job at in the very last game against the Golden State Warriors. They were not doing a good job at getting everybody involved, and when they were swinging the ball, they would turn it over, and there were a lot of tip passes that just did not go their way. But the ball movement certainly does look fluid in this game. Did not start off that way, but then when the Sixers joined the party and came to the Barclays Center, then things started to change and go their way. 21 points for the Sixers in this second quarter, 20 points for the Nets. Sixers lead at 50-39, though. And we have a challenge that's going to be called, I believe, on Brooklyn. And they will go on over towards the scorer's table. And they'll take a look at this to see if that was indeed a foul on Claxton or not. They'll be back. We're going to take the hat off. Interesting how Andre Drummond and Joel Embiid are out there in the same lineup. Now it's Caleb Martin who steps in for the Sixers. But I find that very intriguing. I do. We have an update. Can the Sixers save the season? We live in hope. NFL update. Browns 3 versus the Ravens 21 at the end of the third quarter. Thank you so much for the updates. Appreciate it very, very much. And I think that this has died again, so we're going to redo this. Thoughts about Jimmy Butler, Max? Do you think he should become a Philadelphia 76er? Do you think that he can save the Sixers? Yes or no? So, I'm going back to my New Year's resolution question. You guys are more than welcome to answer it. You guys certainly don't have to answer it. But I want to know, what's something that you're going to try to do this year that you've never done before? Me, something that I'm going to do this year is I have a birthday calendar. I've reached out to people and have asked them for big days, birthdays, weddings, parties, graduation parties. I'm not friends with anybody that's whatchamacallit yet, but just any types of milestones, and I want to make sure that I call those people on their birthday. That's something that I really am going to push to do this year because there's no excuse to not doing that. And I know that not as many people call, and people text and whatever, but I'm sort of old school. I'm sort of a classy guy in that type of perspective, and I do like the phone calls for the people that I do care about. That's how it goes. So that's on my New Year's resolution for this year. That's at not the very top, but that's one of the things at the top of my list. But what's on yours? Foul shot. It's her up and in by Embiid. So he puts up 17 points for the Sixers in this first half. Also gets a rebound off of the missed three-pointer by Keon Johnson. Hands it off over to Paul George. George tries to hand it off over to Embiid, and it's knocked loose and stolen by the Nets. Embiid causes a foul on the other side of the court, and Zaire Williams is going to head to the foul line. JJ's going to become a party crasher. Let's all join JJ. I am actually going to be going out more this year and really trying to open up my social circle. That's something that I do intend on doing this year too. Not the modern man. Yeah, there's people that do it. I don't want to make it seem like that nobody does it, but it's not as common now, like where people give calls, and I don't understand why. I've never understood that. 52-40 with 3:03 left to go in the second quarter. It's always nice to be able to have like one-on-one time, and that's why I like doing this. Because guess what? I feel like I'm actually talking to people. And it's cool. It's cool. I hope to hit a parlay this year, says Illy. That's my New Year's resolution. I like that a lot. I think that's funny. Good luck with that, man. Break a leg with that. What else is on people's New Year's resolutions? If you want to share. You don't have to. You don't. But I like to, I like to talk about sports, but I like to talk about life on here too. We have a timeout called with 3:03 left to go in quarter number 2. Kawhi Leonard is back tonight for the LA Clippers. He will be playing against the Atlanta Hawks at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Will he score higher or lower than 13.5 points tonight? I would take that. That's a very interesting offer. 13.5 or lower. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be I'm sure he's going to be on a minutes restriction. I would guess lower, but that might be a good bet to take. It might be. We'll have to wait and see, though. Sixers do lead it by 12. It's 52-40, and there's about 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 2 before we go into halftime. Sixers and Nets each have 13 points, or 13 wins on the season. Excuse me. Thanks, brother. Good luck on yours. Oh, dude. I don't need luck. I'm going to break a leg, and we're going to shatter this thing, man. We are. But I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate it very, very much. 33 thumbs ups. Nice. Thunder are on a 14-game winning streak, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 33 points per game, along with 5.5 rebounds and 5.6 assists per game. Jimmy Butler also did get suspended for 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team. That's what they're calling it, even though he called out the Miami Heat and said that he's not having fun. And he wants to find the joy into having fun playing basketball on the court again. Foul shot number 2 by Zaire Williams is good. And here come the Sixers. George, Martin, Embiid, Maxey, and Gordon. George for 3 from the far corner. Off the mark. Rebound by Brooklyn. They lost the ball, though. Gordon comes away with the sloppy pass that was over to Brooklyn. He got the steal. George downhill to Embiid, and Embiid can't make the layup. And another corral by Brooklyn with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Another turnover, though, as they lost the ball. Keon Johnson threw it right out of bounds. Both teams are in the bonus, and the Sixers look to try to go up by at least a baker's dozen, maybe by 14 points. Would be interesting. Maxey to George, they play catch. Tyrese Maxey with a swing over to Embiid. Embiid downhill over to Martin in the dunker spot, and he lays it up and in. Caleb Martin and Joel Embiid each have 17 points. And the Sixers doing a very good job with the both of them. Martin is perfect from the field, 7 for 7, and 2 for 2 from 3. Ball gets knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. Good defense by Caleb Martin. So Caleb Martin certainly has had a fantastic first half for Philadelphia. Maxey with the pass over to Martin. Back out to George for 3. Bang! 57-41. Paul George from another area code able to hit his second tray of the ball game. All right, so a little pass downhill was from Claxton over to D'Angelo Russell, but there is a foul called. I like the ball movement that the Sixers have been providing. They did a good job at swinging it out over to Paul George. They're finding the open man. They look like that they're in rhythm. They're in sync. Everybody's on the same page. And we have some more free throws coming on up. Rejections in the chat. I like those. Whenever Embiid gets a block, these are the types of emojis that we need. I love those cancel signs or skip signs. What do you call that? Yeah. Maxey lost the ball, and we do have a foul called. So D'Angelo Russell did make both foul shots. The first one was foul line left, and then the second one just went straight down the drain. And Keon Johnson gets called for a personal foul, and Tyrese Maxey, because the Sixers are in the bonus, he'll go to the line for some more foul shots. Foul shot number 1 by Tyrese Maxey is good. So Tyrese in this game, just 6 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. Embiid needs 1 more rebound to get himself a double-double. It'd be the first double-double that he's had in a half. Tyrese from the line shooting 84%. The second foul shot, it wiggles out at the last second, and he couldn't get it to go. George intercepts the bad pass from D'Angelo Russell. George tries to go coast to coast, hands it off over to Yabusele, and he throws it down with 2 hands. Yabusele posterizing everybody on the other side, and gets a fist pump by Kelly Oubre and Joel Embiid. 60-43, Gershon Yabusele just putting it down the drain. Jeez, man. His explosiveness, when he just takes it to the cup, it's like, how do I describe it? When he just goes into the lane, he's like Superman. He can't be stopped. And when he just holds down on the rim like that, whew, that's fun. It's great. Let's go. Sixers win this game, says Ben Bod. What's up, Ben Bod? How you doing, bro? Gershon Yabusele is a stud. Please sign this man, dude. They say on the play-by-play that Gershon Yabusele makes shot. Oh, that was a dunk, and that should have been equivalent to like 4 points. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. What the heck was that? Sixers Nation just tweeted out, Yabu, WTF. Sixers led by Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid pounded their chest after Yabu's dunk to give them a 60-43 lead with 1:17 left in the half. He's like Jesus parting the seas. Yeah, he's the Messiah. 1:10 to go in the second quarter. Dribble dump-off pass over to D'Angelo Russell. Russell's looking for some help. And they'll skip pass it over to Keon Johnson again. Johnson zigzagging, crossing down the lane. Tries to throw down an alley-oop pass over to Claxton, and he does. Embiid had to think for a second because he kind of had to pick his poison because Johnson could have just laid it up and in, but Johnson did a little alley-oop pass in the air. George, mid-range jumper, connects! Paul George, 5 for 11 from the field. And the Sixers have put up 62 points in half number 1. Embiid trying to play defense on Johnson, and Johnson wiggles and has his way. With a little layup, a little how do you do. Maxey trying to utilize his speed, swings it out to Embiid, Embiid over to George. George trying to go downhill and tried to lay it up and in, but he's fouled. Good job by him being aggressive there. He wanted to throw that thing down. You could tell by the look on his face. And there were a lot of bodies of Brooklyn Nets players right over towards the basket. And George will go to the line and earn his stripes over there. Again, just the unselfishness by Tyrese Maxey. He knew that there was a lot of traffic downhill, able to find the open man at the top of the key, and that was the big fella. And then the big fella, instead of just rolling over towards the basket with all the traffic downhill and settling for a 3 while his feet weren't even set, he's just like, here you go, Paul. Let's see what you can do. Foul shot number 1 by PG. Yes. Second foul shot by Paul George. Good as gold.
Excellent.
64 points for the Sixers. They have a 17-point lead with 17 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson, Williams, Claxton, Russell, and Johnson out there for the Nets. And for the Sixers, it's George, Yabusele, Martin, Embiid, and Maxey. 4 seconds to go on the game clock. A step-back three-pointer for Brooklyn is no good. George got the rebound, and that's going to do it in half number 1. Good job by the Sixers. They started off down a beat. They were down 11-0, and then they responded with a 9-0 run, got themselves back into the game, and were able to just not look back ever since midway into that first quarter, and they've been in cruise control ever since. They take a step off, and we'll be back in 2 minutes to give you a halftime report on this game. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Play by Play with JJ. Hopefully y'all are doing well and having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. We go live for Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles games. We are live on Twitch, and we are live on YouTube as well. If you are on Twitch, make sure that you go follow Play by Play with JJ. It's actually, I have to switch the username. It's called Sports Today with JJ. I was able to get an extra screen so I can be able to look at the Twitch chat too. Because I care about you guys as well, man. I really do. If you're tuning in on any other platforms, though, welcome aboard. We do Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles games on YouTube and on Twitch. And it would mean a lot for you guys to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button as well. First half. Let's talk about that first half, right? Comment down below what letter grade you would give the Sixers for that first half, because I'm going to go with I will go with a B+. I'm going to be going with a B+ today. They started off very, very shaky. They just could not get into... They fell behind the A ball, which was what happened in the first quarter. You know, you're on an 11-0 run, Brooklyn, and you're giving up a lot of wide-open threes, and it looked like it was going to be the same thing that happened in Sacramento at the end of that game with 3.5 minutes to go, and it looked like it was just going to be the same thing that happened in the Golden State game that they played on Thursday. But the Sixers finally were like, you know, hold my beer for a second. Hold my beer because we're going to try to get back into this game. And where did things go right for the Sixers? Well, it's 11-0 on the run, and Paul George makes a three. D'Angelo Russell misses a three, and then Caleb Martin comes to the party. He knocks down a three, and then he goes to the line off of a bad pass. He intercepts a bad pass by D'Angelo Russell, and then he is aggressive, goes downhill, and has an and-one opportunity, and the Sixers are down by 2. So Caleb Martin, in those 2 possessions, literally, I think, saved this game from really being so bad of a start. 11-0 is bad, and Paul George's three was nice, but Caleb single-handedly got us back into this game. He did. Caleb Martin's defense and offense today has been standing out to me. It has. It has popped out to me today. And then Embiid had a little layup with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, and then we tied the game on a little Joel Embiid hook shot. So Embiid starts to establish himself, and he's putting up really good footwork. But Caleb Martin, again, gives them that little spark that they needed to come back into this game. And the Sixers defense stepped up. And then Joel Embiid made 4 straight buckets for the Sixers in a row, including a nice little dunk from Tyrese Maxey. It was a very nice dunk. He's been dunking more. This is now the 3rd game in a row where he's dunked, and so he's getting up there now. He's also getting more rebounds, too, so I like to see that out of Joel. I think that that's a very good sign. He did not play well in his last game, but he still had a dunk in that game. I need him to just continue to progress, and I think that today he did progress. Not to start off the game, he was slow. He looked like he was huffing and puffing. But then, as things started to go the Sixers' way, Embiid found a boost. And when Embiid finds a boost, and when he has that killer instinct in him, he's hard to stop. He has to have the killer instinct, though. And finally, he got it. Caleb Martin also made another big three with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Nets did not put Caleb Martin into their game plan. And to the Sixers' credit, they've done a great job at getting him involved in the offense. They really, really have. So, how would you describe that down below? Please let me know. John Morgan says B. Illy says D. Illy says D. Really? Even though they put up 64 points, you still give them a D? I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just curious. I did not think that Tyrese Maxey had a good first half at all. I wish that he would be better. But I'll take 64 points, man. Like I can't get upset after what they did in that first half. I think that as a unit, they played really well. I think that they tried to give Tyrese the ball a little bit more in that second quarter to start things off, and they wanted to try to establish him. But then what ended up happening is, to the Nets' credit, they started to double-team him a little bit more, and they made him give the ball up to somebody else to try to see if he could make them execute. And Justin Edwards and Andre Drummond were a couple of those guys that stepped up. Now, Maxey had a little nice and one as well with like 9:15 left to go in that quarter. But then the Sixers offense, they went stagnant up until the 7:18 mark. And Caleb Martin made a nice jump shot with the shot clock expiring. I mean, he had a hand in his face, too. Sixers were desperate. That's not the shot that you want to pull off every time. But he knocked it down and made it 40-27. So, Caleb Martin in that second quarter really took over for the Sixers again when Joel Embiid was out there on the bench. And he makes a nice pull-up jumper. Also gets a nice mid-range jumper right after that off of a steal by Andre Drummond. My man Caleb Martin was out there every single time on the fast break in transition. He was out. He was the first guy out there almost every single time when the Sixers were playing defense. Caleb Martin today is the MVP of that first half. Again, he's been playing better. Did not really play well against Sacramento, but I will give him credit. And I will say in this game that he has stepped up, and they're not winning this game if it's not for Caleb Martin. Maxey heavily reflects my grade. I think it will end with a B by the end of the game. Yeah, but I agree with you on Tyrese Maxey going 1 for 7 from the field, but Caleb Martin's 7 for 7, so he's making up for that little deficiency there. Paul George has 14 points. Has he had a nice game? No, he's been contributing, though. But I wouldn't say that it's been a good game by him. I think that this Brooklyn Nets team doesn't really have an identity, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of business, and you're supposed to be crushing this team. Okay, is this moving the needle? Not at all. But you're beating up on the bad teams. That's all I ask. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scores around the NBA. We'll do that right now. We got the Grizzlies and the Warriors playing each other at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We got the Hawks and Clippers at 10:30 tonight. We got Nuggets and Spurs at 8 o'clock. Trailblazers and Bucks at 8 as well. Knicks and Bulls at 8. And Jazz and Heat at 8 o'clock too. The other two games that are on right now, it's Timberwolves and Pistons in the first quarter. And then there's about less than 4 minutes to go in the first frame in that game. Suns are down by 2 to the Indiana Pacers, and there's 3 minutes left remaining in the first quarter of that game. NHL scores, we'll go there next. In the National Hockey League, the Red Wings and the Jets, they're scoreless in the first quarter, or in the first period. Maple Leafs, they lead at 1-0 against the Boston Bruins in the first period with 12 minutes left to go. The Wild and the Hurricanes, they're scoreless in the first period. That game got started about 9 minutes ago. The Blues and the Blue Jackets playing as well. And they're scoreless with 9:28 left to go in the first period. They played 8 minutes in the first period of the Avalanche Canadiens game. Avalanche are hosting Montreal. Utah Hockey Club plays the Dallas Stars tonight at 8 o'clock. And then at 9, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning out in L.A. at the Crypto.com Arena against the Kings. Nashville Predators are on their West Coast road trip, and they're playing the Calgary Flames tonight at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome in Calgary, Canada, excuse me. And then the Buffalo Sabres are out in Las Vegas taking on the Golden Knights at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And the last game going on is the Oilers and the Kraken. That game will be on ESPN Plus at 10 o'clock too. The Capitals did beat the Rangers today by a score of 7-4. Ovechkin got a goal and also got an assist in that game. And the Devils, they lost 3-2 to the San Jose Sharks. And that was the final score of that game. In the NFL, we got 2 games going on right now, or we got 1 game still going on right now, and then 1 other game is going to be played later at 8 o'clock. The Browns are down by 18 points to the Baltimore Ravens. There's 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter of that game. And the Bengals will be playing the Steelers tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Should be a fun matchup between Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson. Those are all your scores around the 4 major sports, 3 of the 4 major sports in the U.S. Just need baseball season, man. Just need baseball. You know, the Brooklyn Nets are without D'Anthony Melton. They're without Ben Simmons as well, and Bojan Bogdanovic, along with Cam Johnson, along with Cam Thomas, and Trendon Watford too. Cool stream. What do you think the end score will be? Says how do I say that? Ridlausch? Is that how you say that? My final score prediction for tonight was 130 to 95. I'm on pace. I'm on pace for that. 130 to 95 was my final score prediction for tonight's game. What's your final score prediction? Let me know down below, man. I would really appreciate that. What else? What else is going on? Nothing much else. Sixers are about ready to start off the third quarter. Again, they lead at 64 to 47 going into half number 2. Martin has made all 7 of his field goals. Most for any half that he's had since December 6th of 2023. That's the most points that he's had. We do Sixers, Phillies, and Eagles games on our channel. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to Play by Play with JJ. Sixers go from right to left. George tries to give it up to Embiid, who's on the block, and Embiid can't get over to it. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Brooklyn basketball as they have it and go from left to right. Always have to think about that for a second. I don't know why. Nets have it at the top of the perimeter. There's a wide open three-pointer. That is bricked by the Nets. Zaire Williams could not get it to go. Here's Maxey and Embiid playing a little two-man game. Maxey gets it back over to Embiid. Embiid dumps it back off over to Maxey. Nice little pass over to Embiid, and Embiid throws it down. Tyrese Maxey was over on the block and somehow facilitated it over to Embiid and provided a little skip pass to him, and Embiid had a wide-open lane. That was perfectly executed. A wide-open corner jumper is off the mark for Brooklyn, and the Sixers get the ball back. Martin gives it up over to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey penetrates the lane, finds Yabusele for a wide-open three-pointer, and that one is too strong. Here comes Watford that's Martin on the other side, and he lost the ball, and Sixers will get it back. Good defense by Joel Embiid. He tried to just bully him down low, and you're not really going to have a lot of success doing that against one of the most dominant centers when healthy in the NBA. Sixers have it. They lead it by 19 points. Dribble handoff over to Embiid from Maxey for 3. Yes! Oh, yes, baby! Joel Hans Embiid, 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists in this game. George got tripped up, and there's a foul line jumper that is off the mark by Keon Johnson. He was wide open and could not hit it from 15 feet. Embiid tries to find Yabusele. He's blitzed, and the ball gets battered around, knocked loose, and stolen by the Nets. A 3-on-2 fast break, and that's just going to be tough to stop for the Sixers on an alley-oop pass. It was a dime that went over to Nick Claxton, and he threw it down with 2 hands. 9:38 to go in quarter number 3. Maxey zigzagging, crossing down the lane, puts up a shot. He lost the ball, and it'll be a turnover on Tyrese Maxey. That's the 3rd turnover on Tyrese Maxey tonight in this game. All right, so the Sixers get the ball back. There was a defensive rebound off of a missed shot by Tyrese Martin. Maxey heads downhill, puts up a layup, and 1. He'll go to the line for 1 more. A scoop and score by Tyrese Maxey. Sixers in 70 figures. All right. That was pretty nice. I like that little play. Maxey drawing up the contact. Johnson was right on over there. He tried to go up and down on defense, and Maxey initiated that contact. That's what we want from Tyrese Maxey. And the foul shot for the and 1. Good as gold.
Excellent.
Sixers up by 23 points. Here's Deron Sharp downhill. He's double teamed, gets it knocked loose by Gershon Yabusele, and here come the Sixers. Yabusele trying to go coast to coast, draws the contact. He's fouled, and he'll earn 2 more points at the charity stripe as the clock stops with 9 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Okay. All right, let's put up Ninja Chat over here. And let's do this again. Come on, is our chat gonna work this time around? Let us know. Foul shot number 1 by Gershon Yabusele is off the mark. Soldier, I'm running slow, JJ, and keep getting booted, but we'll soldier on. Let's go, man. Can't wait for baseball season. I'm excited again for that. I can wait, though. Foul shot number 2 by Yabusele. Good.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Sixers up by 24 points. They got to play defense, though. A little facilitating back outside from the Brooklyn Nets. Goes over to Johnson, and Johnson finds a wide-open three-point shooter who can't knock it down from the far corner. That's Jalen Wilson. Caleb Martin got the rebound, trying to go coast to coast, parts of the Red Sea, but he's fouled in the back. Again, the Sixers being so aggressive. That's already the 3rd foul that they have drawn against this Brooklyn team. I love it. They're winning out in transition, and the reason why they're doing that is because it's all about who wants it, man. So it was not a shooting foul. Here's a missed shot by Embiid from the mid-range game, and it's rebounded by Zaire Williams. Three-pointer on the other side by D'Angelo Russell is too short. Yabusele rebound. Handoff and a dump-off pass to Paul George, who's blitzed at the Barclays Center sign. He wants to try to get separation and play iso basketball. George swings it over to Maxey. Maxey towards the near corner for 3. Yes! Tyrese Maxey able to get some space, shimmy over towards the left side, and the Sixers are blowing out the Nets. A 27-point lead for Philadelphia. Another catch-and-shoot 3. Nothing can go on in for Brooklyn, and they cannot put a stop to this 12-2 run. And the ball goes out of bounds as the Sixers had it, and then the ball got knocked out right over towards their bench, and they got to play defense once again. It's been all Sixers in this 3rd quarter. They've come to life out of the gates, and they've only shot 33% from 3 today, but the Brooklyn Nets, they're only shooting 22.5%. Here's a wide open 3 again by Brooklyn. That's Zaire Williams. And Williams able to catch it and put it up for a 3, and he got it, man. He got it to go. Screen froze. Sixers won the first match against the Brooklyn Nets that was at the Wells Fargo Center back on November 22nd, and they won 113-98. Maxey tries to throw it over to Martin. It was almost intercepted by the Nets. Good ball movement for the Sixers. 2 more passes over to Embiid. Embiid putting up the footwork. Lost the ball, though. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Puts up a fadeaway 3, and he couldn't get it to go. Didn't even hit the rim. Yabusele got the rebound, but a shot clock violation called, and the Nets timeout called as well with 6:46 left remaining in the 3rd quarter. All right. I'll be back in just a little bit. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you did subscribe to the channel, I believe Illy did subscribe. Congratulations. Thank you so much for subscribing, my friend. And again, if you are tuning in on Twitch, we appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to be on here. It means a lot to all of us. Yeah, there's 2 minutes left to go. I see the scoreboard down there. Yeah, I see it. All right, so that game is pretty much over. We'll have to remember to switch and put the Cincinnati game on. Ooh, that stretch feels so good. It does. Feels so good. Illy, what got you into basketball, man? For those of you that are new to the channel, what's your basketball background story? What got you into the NBA? How'd you get into the Sixers? I don't really know what got me into the Sixers. I think Andre Iguodala was sort of somebody that stood out to me. I really liked how he conducted himself. I thought that he was a very professional guy. I thought that he played the game the right way, and he was like a Claude Drew type of a player, not like a number one option, but was somebody that you wanted on your team. He wasn't necessarily like the best. He wasn't a good best player to have. You know what I mean? Like, if the Sixers I actually really do believe this. If the Sixers had Joel Embiid when Andre Iguodala, Drew Holiday, Thaddeus Young, and Spencer Hawes out there, I think that would have been a recipe for success for the Sixers. Now, we can discuss the injuries and we can talk about all that other stuff, but I'm talking about the Sixers. That Sixers team never had a reliable number one option. And I really do believe in my whole Sixers heart, that if Embiid was in that timeline, I think that we may have gotten really, really far there. But we'll never know. And that's the beauty of sports, because it always leaves us guessing. But Andre Iguodala was awesome. He was fun to watch. He was. The other AI, that's right. He was good, says Jane. Yeah, he was fun to watch, man. I also liked watching Michael Carter-Williams. I thought that he had a really, really great rookie year. And for some reason, man, he could not live up to the expectations after his rookie year. And it was a shame. I know somebody else that was like that for us, too. And his name we shall not say. But we all know who he is. Players out tonight: Bojan Bogdanovic, D'Angelo Russell. He's now out. He played in the first half, but he's out for the rest of the game. Ben Simmons, Bojan Bogdanovic, and so many others. There's like 8 other guys that are out. Trendon Watford. That's all for the Brooklyn Nets. Sixers lead it by 24 points. Catching it over towards the near side is Johnson. That's Keon Johnson, but we do have a foul called. Too bad views don't equal likes. Please hit the thumbs up button. Let's get to 50. We better get to 100 by the end of the stream. I was to get to 100 one time for a basketball stream this year, and I think that we will. I know that after the NFL season, that's really when we're going to get more and more people paying attention, because this team has just, not exceeded expectations, and I think that that's when people will start to give more eyes to the Sixers. After NFL season is done, that's when the eyes are going to come. So the Sixers have to play defense. Williams, Claxton, Johnson, Clowney, and Martin all out there for Brooklyn. And we have a shot clock violation called. With the shot clock winding down, it was actually Noah Clowney put up a shot, couldn't get it to fall. And the Sixers will inbound it. Caleb Martin will inbound it over to Tyrese Maxey. Maxey's still in the Sixers' backcourt. Now steps over towards the logo, and he's into the Sixers' front court right now as we speak. We'll pass over to Embiid downhill on the block. Embiid draws a double team. Now takes it over towards the elbow. Gives it back to Maxey. They play a game of catch. Embiid rolling over towards the rim. Finds his sidekick, and that's Caleb Martin for a 3. No good, though. Caleb Martin, that for the first time tonight, he missed a shot. He was 7 for 7 and made 7 shots in a row, but he finally missed one. He's human. There's a shot that's up and in, a little reverse layup by Nick Claxton. He's been very quiet in this game, Claxton. 10 points, 4 rebounds. He's a very good rebounder, but not tonight when you're going up against Joel Embiid. Maxey lets it fly from the parking lot for 3. He got it! It hit the front of the rim, hit the back iron, and trickled on in, and was able to make it now, a 25-point ball game. Good job by Maxey from 29 feet. He got the roll. You just got to see the ball go through the hoop. That's what matters. Shot goes up by Nick Claxton. No. Offensive rebound, and a 3-pointer by Clowney is good. Man. Less than 5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Maxey dribbling with the right hand. They'll give it up over to Embiid, who rolls over towards the basket. There's a lot of contact downhill, and a foul called on Zaire Williams. Banchero and Wagner could be back on the Magic as early as next week. I saw that too. Is Suggs back for them? Is Jalen Suggs back for them? Sixers play the Magic on Sunday for the final time this year. That'll be the last time that the Sixers play Orlando. Embiid dripping with a lot of sweats. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. The shooting foul was called on Zaire Williams. The first foul shot by Embiid. He gets it to fall. We have 3 subs for Brooklyn and 1 for Philadelphia. Claxton, he is heading over to the bench. Keon Johnson is heading over to the bench as well. For the Sixers, Yabusele will get some high fives and some claps on the Sixers sideline. Reggie Jackson back out there for the Sixers. And Embiid with the second free throw. Good.
Excellent.
Sixers lead it by 24 points. Johnson in between the circles. Actually, he still is out there. So here comes George downhill trying to play defense. And he gets the ball battered around, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by PG. Reese Beekman is back in there for Keon Johnson. Kyle Lowry's the one that steps on in for Tyrese Maxey. Reggie Jackson also out there for Gershon Yabusele as well. Here we have a floater that goes up and in by F. Boumholtz as he is able to make it a 22-point ball game. No D'Angelo Russell for the rest of this game. Embiid got shoved right over in the face. And some more free throws coming up for the big fella. 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists for Joel Embiid. Beats in the chat. Foul shot number 1. Here it comes. Takes one dribble and puts it up and puts it on in. The Sixers, I was looking this up because I was curious about the Ben Simmons stats that were shown by StatMuse. And I had it up before. I will make sure that I put it up right now. Ben Simmons as a Sixer averaged 15.9 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.7 assists in 275 games as a Sixer. Can't believe he played 275 games with us. Sixers are 8-2 in their last 10 games against the Nets, and they put up 112 points per game on average. Foul shot number 1 is good. The second foul shot by Embiid. He puts it up and he puts it in. 83-59. Lost the sound effect. Oh, I played the wrong one. Whatever. George has it for the Sixers. It was Day'Ron Sharpe who could not hit a jumper on the other side for the Nets. George bricks 1-2, and Day'Ron Sharpe has his miss. If Boumholtz takes it over towards the far side, dump off pass to Sharpe. And Tyrese Martin gets it over on the far wing. Thought about taking the 3 from the far wing. Dribbles a couple of times. Takes a 3-point shot. And tries to bank it in over on the far corner. And the banks are closed at this time. Jackson's 3-pointer didn't even hit off the back iron. Didn't even hit off the rim. It just hit off the backboard. And he couldn't get that one to fall either. Another missed shot by Brooklyn. As Tosan Evwamwan is able to, or not able to go up with a shot there. And he'll block Joel Embiid over on the other side. There's 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Who has the ball now, JJ? Brooklyn has the ball. Day'Ron Sharpe gives it up over to Clowney, and Clowney gets fouled. So the one thing I have to remember is that, guess what? Not all the stars are going to play for whoever you're going to be going up against. So no matter if there's 9 or 10 guys that are hurt and a lot of them play, you still got to know the rest of the roster up and down for scenarios like this. Sixers call for time, and they will burn just their 3rd timeout of this game, and they'll recuperate when they return to action. Another time for us to get rid of this. Another time for us to try this again. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, or we'll be doing the Eagles game at 1 o'clock. Then we got the Vikings game at 8 o'clock. We're going to be doing both of those games. Let's go back to this. Waiting on the Steelers game for football. Yeah, me too. John's here. What's up, man? How you doing? Embiid for MVP. MVP, yes, sir. Browns never even had a chance, says Jane. Jane also says that Suggs is out for at least one more week. Just a hand bruise, I think. Okay. Embiid's 2 for 3 on 3-pointers. Maybe take some more. Nah, I don't want him to get 3-point savvy, man. If the shots are going in, fine, but I don't want you to be Steph Curry out there, dude. Especially now that we have a 24-point lead. I want him to just keep living at the foul line and just get fouled, man. I want him to play his game. I don't want him not to play his game. He can take some threes, and he can make them. But if he's not feeling it, and if he's forcing up shots, that's not good. It's not good. He did that a lot in the last game, and he looked so slow. This game, though, he's playing at his pace. He's doing a better job. But this was a must. This was a game where you did what you needed to do. And it still isn't over. It still isn't over. But this should be a kick your feet up type of a game for the Sixers. That's how it should be. I know, I just love seeing it, so I'm just kidding. No, I like it too. Like, I like when he's doing it all. You know what I mean? Like, when he's not just settling for threes, when he's going downhill, and then they start to double team him, and then they leave him wide open. If he's wide open, have him take the three, of course, but if he's having his day, that's one thing, but if he's not, I don't want him to force up anything. Less than 3 minutes to be played in quarter number 3. Dump off pass from Wilson to Clowney. Clowney over at the nail. And I'll dump it back off over to Beekman, who has a donut in the scoring department. Can't even bank it on in. Shot clock winding down, though, and the rebound by Sharp. And the putback layup is good. It was with the shot clock at just 1 second to go. 2.5 minutes left to be played in the third quarter. Embiid on the foul line extended. Dump off pass to George, who gets double teamed. Behind the back bounce pass over to Embiid, and Embiid puts up a shot. It's off the very top of the backboard, but there is a foul called, and the Sixers are in the bonus. Embiid has 26 points, 12 rebounds, and we're not even at the end of the third quarter. He's been perfect at the line so far, 8 for 8 from the trip. And, again, a very good game. He has. This is the type of game where if you do look at the box score, you can say that he dominated in the first 3 quarters. We're talking about the first 3 quarters so far. Foul shot number 1 by Embiid. He's 9 for 9 from the line. I remember when Joel was 22 for 25 from the foul line against Boston. And it's just, for him to be that tall and to be able to make the free throws, say what you want about work ethic, say what you want about whether or not you like him. To be able to still make your free throws at that size, that is very impressive. Foul shot number 2 by Embiid. 10 for 10.
Excellent.
24-point lead for the Sixers. Embiid trying to play defense over on the other side as the ball was trying to get swung out over to Justin. It was supposed to go over to Jalen Wilson, and Wilson got it intercepted by Reggie Jackson. George at the top of the perimeter. Takes it towards the left side. Crosses over. Steps back. Puts up a tray. Got it! Swish goes the basketball. PG 3 for 8 from downtown as he lights up a bomb from the near wing. Another three is way off the mark. George and Embiid could not communicate on the rebound, and Lowry gets it instead. Or actually, that's Justin Edwards. Edwards is back out there. George wants to ISO again. Puts up another three-pointer. Oh, just trickled out at the last second. It could not go on in. Brooklyn rebound. Edwards again. Handoff pass over for a wide-open three. That is no good by Jalen Wilson. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Sixers basketball. So the Brooklyn Nets are catching the same exact serum that the Sixers had in the last game. Sixers were not shooting the ball well from three at all against the Golden State Warriors, and now everything is going in for Philadelphia. Wilson being heavily guarded by Paul George. Deron Sharp puts up a foul line floater, and he's human, and Kyle Lowry comes away with his miss. Dump off pass to Embiid, who gets it into the Sixers front court. He goes rolling down the lane, kicks it out to Edwards for a wide open three, and it goes down the drain. Everything going on in for Philadelphia. Another bad pass by the Nets. Lowry gets the steal. Embiid leads the charge on the other side. Nola pass to Jackson for three. Oh, he wanted that so badly. He did. And it's Deron Sharp who's able to chase down the rebound. So Sharp over to Beekman, who tries to go down the lane and roll towards the basket. And he scoops and scores, and he's finally on the board. 91 points for the Sixers. 23 seconds left to go in the third quarter. I said the final score would be 130-95. And now it's 91-63. Embiid thought he was fouled there. Edwards goes up with a three, and they'll call that just a block. Here's a shot that goes up and in, and there's an and-one opportunity from Reese Beekman, who went coast to coast and got fouled by Paul George. That's only his first personal foul. I mean, this guy has been in so much foul trouble. Actually, scratch that. That's his second personal foul of the ball game. But he will be heading on over towards the line. Edwards is getting a lot of minutes in this game. I like that. I like seeing Justin Edwards out there. 5 points, 2 rebounds in about 9 minutes so far. Not a bad outing for him. Beekman for the end one opportunity. Good. Sixers get it into their front quarters and be with a fadeaway jumper, puts it up, and that's going to do it. Philadelphia, they're up by 25 points as they head into quarter number 4. Hopefully we can just kick our feet up, and that'll be the last of Joel Embiid for today. We'll see, though, as the Sixers will be back in a flash. All right. What else do we got going on? I don't know. I like what we're seeing, man. Embiid after the third quarter, 28 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 for 17 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line, and 2 for 3 from 3. I'm going to ask you a Sixers trivia question. If you get it right, you will hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this. Okay, which trivia question should I ask today? Which trivia question should I ask for tonight? What should I do? Ugh. Oy. Okay. We'll do. Where is it? Which 76er has the highest single season free throw percentage? Just kidding. Which 76er has the highest single season free throw percentage? Anybody want to take a crack at it? Anybody want to take a crack at it? Who do we got? Ready, aim, fire. Anybody want to guess? Which 76er is the highest single season free throw percentage? Anybody want to guess? Bueller? Embiid. Eric Snow. Nope. Reggie Jackson gets the steal for the Sixers. Maxey is out there for Philadelphia, so it's Justin Edwards, Gershon Yabusele, and Kyle Lowry. Maxey loses the basketball, almost turned it over, but it goes to the bounds. Last touch by Brooklyn. One more guess? Anybody? The highest single-season free throw percentage in Sixers in a single season for the Sixers goes to who? Maurice Cheeks? No. Mo Cheeks. That's no good. Yeah, the game's not on yet, though. It's going to start in about 4 minutes, but yeah, I will do that. Maxey heads over towards the foul line, gets bumped, puts up a shot, but he gets called for a travel. Okay, I gave everyone a chance. Jose Calderon. Nope. The answer is J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick has the highest free throw percentage in a Sixers season. If you said J.J. Redick and you didn't answer that, well, you were correct. But J.J. Redick is the right answer. Crazy. Absolutely wild. All right, let's go to this scoreboard here. Sixers come away with a steal. It's Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry got the steal. Jackson puts up a catch-and-shoot three-pointer, and it goes in. Reggie Jackson able to fire one up from long distance, and the Sixers able to knock it down with ease. And a whistle called against Philadelphia over on the other side. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Let's put that game down here. What game are you going to, JJ? Shush, it's just a piece of your imagination. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. See? Told you. Told you. 94-66. We've only played about 1 minute and 15 seconds in this fourth quarter. Finally, Ebwamwan able to knock down a tray from the other side, and they'll cut the deficit to 25 points for Brooklyn. Wilson, Johnson, Sharp, Martin, and Ebwamwa all out there for the Brooklyn Nets. Jackson heads downhill with a head of steam. Thought he drew some contact. The refs drew the whistle, and a rebound by Jalen Wilson. Tyrese Martin gets it on the other side, and he is fouled on the floor with about 10:18 left to go. J.J. Redick. Wow. Yes. Iverson was incorrect. Yep, it was J.J. Redick. You learn something new, man, every day. You do. I love doing trivia on here. Again, if you love this, we're on for each and every Sixers game. We also do Phillies and Eagles as well. We'll be on for the Eagles game tomorrow afternoon. We're also going to do the Minnesota game tomorrow night. They take on the Lions. That should be a fun game to watch. First foul shot is good, and the second foul shot, that's good too, by Tyrese Martin. Give him 14 points, 3 rebounds, and this guy has doubled his average tonight. He has. He's shot 44% from the field this season. As we have a foul called over on the other side, it'll be on Philadelphia. Now, he just tied his season high was 30. That was against the Phoenix Suns. He was 10 for 13 from the field and was 8 for 10 from 3. So he needs one more bucket to tie his second highest of the season. Maxey got bumped, but they're going to call it travel. How's that not a shooting foul there, man? Maxey literally got hit in the head, and there was a defender that was off balance, and they called that a travel. He got bumped in the act of shooting. I mean, come on, refs. Sixers up by 24. Martin heads over into the lane to try to put up a two-pointer. And Yabusele climbs the ladder and hauls in the miss. Lowry tried to swing it over to Yabusele out in transition. Lowry was thinking he was over on the near corner, and he was not. He was right next to him, and Yabusele is looking at him, and he's like, dude, I'm like right on over here. And Lowry wasn't even looking. So that was his fault. And the Sixers, they turn it over again. 9.5 minutes left to be played in this fourth quarter. Keon Johnson gets it over for the Brooklyn Nets. Johnson, it's a wide open three-pointer, and it goes on in to make it 94-73. So all of a sudden, it's now a 21-point game. It's a 7-3 run by the Brooklyn Nets. And with 9:10 to go, Sixers have the rock. Maxey on the near wing at the three-point line. Doesn't dribble yet. Finds a cutting man. Jackson over towards the basket. And he'll lay it up. Underhanded scoop and in. And the Sixers get themselves another bucket. It's Reggie Jackson's first field goal besides the three-pointer that he's made today. So it's his first two-pointer that he was able to knock down. Foul called over on the other side on Philadelphia. It's just a personal foul. Next time that these two teams will play will be on February 12th. Then they play on February 22nd. Embiid with 28 points, leading the way for the Sixers. 12 rebounds, 5 assists as well. Paul George has 17 points, along with Caleb Martin. And Tyrese Maxey has 15 points, 6 assists, and 1 rebound. So a very complete game for the Sixers so far. Nick Claxton will step on in for De'Ron Sharp. Jalen Wilson will take a seat, and Zaire Williams will be his replacement. And how about Ricky Council IV, who did not get any action tonight, finally coming on in for Philadelphia. The lineup is Council, Lowry, Edwards, Maxey, and Yabusele. Foul shot number 2 by Baumholtz is off the mark. So he can't hit both free throws. And the Sixers have the ball again. Maxey goes into the lane. Passes it out to Edwards. They provide 3 more passes. Edwards gets it back. Fires a 3. He got it on the near corner. 99 points for the Sixers and Edwards. Already 2 for 2 from downtown. Could actually 2 for 4. I forgot he missed a 3-pointer before that. Here's a shot that's up and good by Baumholtz on the other side for Brooklyn. He's had a very good day. Maxey gets blitzed, puts up a floater, killed the bucket, and a foul. Nice. Drew the contact, went tumbling towards the deck, fell down like a domino, and was in midair as he landed on his back, but he gets up and he's at the charity stripe. 17 points for Maxey, George, and Martin in this game, and Maxey drains the free throw. And he leapfrogs Martin and George in the scoring department. 102-76 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Here's a little floater up and not in by Claxton. Maxey got the rebound. He'll dump it off over to Kyle Lowry. Lowry over to Maxey as he gets the hot potato. Almost juggled it, and now gets it back. Steps back, puts up a 3-pointer on the far wing, and that one is way too strong. So he misses a 25-foot jumper. A catch and shoot 3-pointer by Toussaint Baumholtz. Doesn't even hit the rim. That's the 5th basket today, or the 5th try from 3 that has not even hit the rim by Brooklyn. That's how off they are shooting-wise from downtown. Maxey will pass it over to Council. One more to Yabusele for a far corner three-pointer, and it does not go in. It was a soft touch three, but just could not trickle on in. I like to use that word, trickle. 7 minutes left remaining in the fourth quarter. Sixers have to play defense again. Catch and shoot triple is off the mark, and an offensive rebound by Claxton. We'll give it back up to Keon Johnson, so Johnson was looking for a second try. Instead, we have a loose ball foul called on Brooklyn. Kyle Lowry is over at the underneath the rim, is stumbling, and we have a timeout called. He's getting checked up by the trainers and a couple of players too. You certainly don't want injuries to happen, even though they are a part of the game, but you don't want them to occur like that. Okay. Thumbs ups, subscribe buttons, and bell icons too. We will have a little post-game show after this. Nothing really too big to talk about. I want to make sure I get ready for tomorrow's Eagles game. That's what I care about, even though we don't know what's going to happen. We doubt that Saquon's going to play, but there is still possibly a chance. Unless something happened today that I wasn't warned about. But yes, we got Lions and Vikings tomorrow. And then we got Eagles and Giants in the afternoon. Yes. Scott, look at Scott. This is how mods take notes. Take notes, mods. All the mods that are out there. Even if you're just on for baseball, I don't care. Or if you're just on for football. Dude, this is how you mod. Scott is great. So is Jane. Jane's really good too. And Larry's good too. But this is how you do it, man. Look at Scott going to work. That was beautiful. This is how you do it, man. That's how you mod. I don't call Ghostbusters. I call my mods because my mods are my Ghostbusters. If I need something, if I need a piece of information, I know where to go. Thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. Those are the three things I ask. And then, the other thing that I forgot to do tonight, and I wanted to do it because I'm being generous. I am. I'm being very generous tonight. I want to do this. We got 24 people watching. So for those 24 of you that are still here, I want to make sure that you guys get a little something from me. And I will make sure that I do that right now. I'll do it right now. We'll do it right now. We'll do it live. No, I'm kidding. Here we go. 5 memberships. 5 new memberships, man. 102 to 76. Lou, Dante, Lawrence, Matt, and Ego IME Apologetics all became members. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you. 105 to 76. So the Sixers were able to get a bucket to go. Adem Bona comes on in for Tyrese Maxey. Reggie Jackson steps in, so Lowry was the one that made the three. Tyrese Martin misses a 25-footer. Adem Bona gets the defensive rebound. Lost the ball, though. And there's a 1-foot dunk. Or, yeah, 1-foot shot there by the Nets as the TV froze. Wilson, Johnson, Sharp, Martin, and Beekman all out there for Brooklyn. There's a Dembona over at the nail. Dump off pass to Ricky Council. They swing it outside over to Lowry at the top of the key. Drives it down the lane. And the shot clock's winding down, and he floats it up and in. Sixers in the driver's seat, and they are just literally having their own peace of mind, man. Adem Bona blocked the shot, but it still went in on the other side. I've never seen anything like it. Keon Johnson made a layup, and they'll credit the bucket to him, but I think Adembona needs to get an assist on that one. I really do. Justin Edwards lost the ball, and the ball gets kicked out of bounds. It's last touched by Justin, and it'll be Brooklyn basketball. Congratulations to all the new members on Play-by-Play with JJ. Let's go. Here's Ricky Council, who catches and lights it up from downtown. Actually, that was a Brooklyn Nets player. Sorry about that. Looked like Council was shooting it. And what's going on with the TV? It literally looked like Council was shooting it. It was Keon Johnson who made it. And the Sixers will turn it on over again with 4:51 left to go. Sorry about that. This was a good game by the Sixers. Very nice game. They did what they had to do. We're not going to throw too much stock into this, but this is what we needed. Bona rejects the Tyrese Martin's 5-footer, and now Edwards out in transition. Edwards to Lowry. Lowry to Bona. Bona lost the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Adembona, who had 3 blocks in the last game, every time he goes out there, he just literally does a great job at protecting the rim. He's like Clint Capella. He's a very good rim runner, and whenever you put him in a spot to, block it down low on the block, he does that almost all the time. A catch-and-shoot three-pointer is up and in to make it 107-86. Again, what did I say? 130 to 95 is my final score. Bona down the lane. Goes up with a shot. He's fouled in the act of shooting with 4:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Time is at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Good. This was a very, very good game by the Sixers. I like what I saw tonight. I'm not putting too much stock into it, though. The Nets were missing like 9 guys. They don't really have an identity. And the Sixers smashed them. And that's how it should be. So Deron Sharp got called for the shooting foul. Free throw number 1 is way off the mark. There's Cam Thomas sitting right next to Cam Johnson. And the second foul shot by Adembona. Yes.
Excellent.
Sixers are 23 for 28 from the line today, which is good enough for an 82%. We have a foul called on Adembona as a three-point shot was good by Wilson. The foul was away from the play. It's now a 19-point game. 108-89 with 3:58 to go. And Deron Sharp, who got bullied downhill by Adembona on the box out, got fouled. And it will be the one going to the line for a 4-point play, potentially. And Deron Sharp, his foul shot is short. Rebound by Edwards. Outlet pass to Lowry. Bona to Ricky Council, who crosses over. Thought about taking the 3. Lowry gives it back over to Council. Ricky steps back again. Fires the trigger from long distance. No good. And Lowry gives it up over to Adembona, who got the rebound. Edwards for his third 3. He got it! 111-89. You got to cover Justin Edwards. He has the Midas touch. And he has been on fire from 3. 3:23 to go in the fourth quarter. And a rebound again by Council off the bat. Shot by Deron Sharp. So it's Jackson, Lowry, Bona, Edwards, and Council. And with that, we have a timeout called with 3:13 to go. Good. Very good. Very, very good. This is the type of game that we asked for. After a dreadful game against Golden State, this is how you respond against a team that doesn't know what their identity is. And Ben Simmons, afraid to play the Sixers again tonight. I know that he actually had an injury, but you know what? It is what it is. We'll just never see him face the Sixers again. That's just the truth. He doesn't want to play against us. He's scared. He's scared, man. Ben Simmons is afraid of the Sixers. What a traitor. What a fraud. He's afraid to play us, dude. He just won't play again against the Sixers. Whenever he hears the word Sixers, he's just going to be over on the bench, bro. Flexen and Stepien is going to be close at 120 to 101. Yeah, I said 111 to 89. I think I still have a shot, man. I do. If Justin Edwards can hit me some more threes, that would be great. Sixers just got to play very good on the defensive side. But yeah, frightened. Yeah, he is frightened. Ugh, scared. Ugh, dude. Embiid sat the entire fourth quarter. It's good. It's good. Am I bought back in? Am I bought back into this team after this win? Nope. They got a long ways to go. Good start. He didn't have to go down to the wire against the Brooklyn team. And this is what they had to do. This is what they should have done. And they did it. Good job. Good job. Bravo. Now, the next team that you play is the Suns. Now, that game I'm curious as to how they do. And you're facing Devin Booker, you're facing Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. That's a game I look into. And Grayson Allen off the bench. I know that Allen this year hasn't really been... He's still shooting the ball at a very high level, not as much as last year. Last year it was just ridiculous. But that's a game that I'll take more stock into. That's the type of game that we'll take more stock into. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. I'll do a little post-game analysis after this. We have another timeout called. Really? Another timeout called? What's going on? Are they allowed to burn 2 timeouts? Is that allowed? Sixers called a timeout. I guess that maybe... Yeah, they called another timeout. What? They literally just burned another timeout. One more time for water. Not a good day by Tyrese Maxey. He didn't have to have a good day today. Played a little bit better in that second half. I'll give him that. 111 to 89, 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Sixers will inbound it from Lowry over to Bona. Bona gets it back from Reggie Jackson. He'll swing it out over to Edwards. Another three-pointer way off the mark. And a rebound by Brooklyn. All right, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Sixers are up by 22 points against the Nets. Trying to bank it up and in is Sharp, and that was not Sharp. That was way off the mark. Jackson over on the near wing. Tries to go down low on the block, and now dribbles over towards the near corner. A little give and go pass to Justin Edwards, but he decides not to go towards the lane. Council wants to cross on over, takes it over towards the elbow, goes up in midair, puts it up, and got it to go. Council off balance. And the little acrobatic shot by Ricky Council gives the Sixers 113 points. And they lead at 113 to 89. Don't know how they did not call that a foul. They didn't. There was a lot of contact, and the whistles were chewed by the refs. Here's a shot that's up by De'Ron Sharp. Good defense by Adem Bona. Rebounded by Council. Bona on the other side. Slams it home. Adem Bona has arrived in the NBA. 115 to 89. Shaking and baking the rim, baby. Here's a three-pointer by Brooklyn. Bullseye. Oh, man. That was a far three. Oh, hit that. Was that Wilson? Jeez. Both teams shooting 37% from downtown. Council with a dribble and a drive down the lane. High arcing floater is good. 117 points for the Sixers. A step back three-pointer by Brooklyn. No. Adem Bona grabs the rebound. Bona with an outlet pass over to Reggie Jackson on the far wing. Jackson gets some space, fires up a three, and he got it. It's 120 to 92 with 1:15 left to be played. Again, at the top of the perimeter, it's Johnson, who swings it all the way to Wilson for a three-pointer. Way off the mark. Council got the rebound for Philadelphia again. Lowry dumps it off over to Ricky Council. Council trying to provide a little skip pass to Adem Bona. He lost it, though. There is a foul called with 57.5 seconds to go, though. And they're going to say it's on Brooklyn. Adem Bona, man. Just the wingspan that he has. Seems like that he's going to be around for a while. 6 feet 10 inches tall, 235 pounds, went to UCLA, and was the 41st pick by the Sixers. Was drafted last year in the second round. Bona at the line for 2 free throws. Puts up the first one, and he gets it to fall. 121 to 92 is the score. I think I'm going to be the closest, man. I said 130 to 95. 121 to 92 is the score. And the second foul shot by Bona. No. Offensive rebound by Edwards. Kicks it out over to Jackson. Jackson to Council at the top of the key. He wants to dance. Council heads downhill. Dumps it off to Bona. And Bona slams it again. Adem Bona and Ricky Council providing some chemistry for Philadelphia as the young core for the Sixers. That's what you want, man. 123-92, 35 seconds to go. There's a floater that's up. Offensive rebound by Johnson. And another foul called. Another one called. And that's going to be on Reggie Jackson. And some free throws coming on up for Tyrese Martin. Thought that was Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson got the rebound, and then Johnson handed it off over to Tyrese Martin. The shooting foul was called on Jackson. Free throw number 1. Yes. 123 to 93. Good game. What's Embiid's injury? He doesn't have an injury. He played today. Joel played today. He just didn't play at all in the fourth quarter because the Sixers were blowing out the Nets. So why play him? Foul shot number 2. Good by Brooklyn. 123 to 94. Both teams are in the bonus. Sixers, again, they play next on Monday night at 7 o'clock against the Phoenix Suns. 24 seconds to go. Bona over on the block. Swings it out to Edwards. Edwards thought about taking the tray. Takes it down the lane. Finds Ricky Council. 5 seconds to go in the shot clock. Jackson wide open again for 3. And he's human. And the ball gets tipped into the hands of a Brooklyn Nets player. And that is going to do it. So the Philadelphia 76ers, they win by a final score of 123 to 94 and break the 2-game losing streak. Ring the bell. The Philadelphia 76ers get a W in the books. There we go. Nice. play the full song tonight. But you know what? They had a very, very good win. That was a nice win by the Sixers. We're going to talk about that right now, and we're going to talk about what went down in this game because there were some good things that I saw tonight that were a step in the right direction. And let's do that right now. Nice win. That was a nice win. 123-94 is your final score. It did not start off great. Let's be real. We were down 11-0, and things just were very sloppy out of the gates for the Sixers team. They left a lot of guys wide open for threes, including D'Angelo Russell. And finally, after about 2 minutes of play, Paul George says, you know what, let's try to get something in. And let me fire up a three. And it went in. And Caleb Martin is my MVP for today. He put the team on his back in that first quarter and said, we're trying to get back into this. And if Maxey won't step up, guess what? I'm going to step up. And then Joel Embiid got momentum, man. He did. He got momentum. And he said, yeah, Nick Claxton can't stop me. I'm unguardable. If you put me in a one-on-one situation with him, I'm gonna own that matchup. I'm gonna own that matchup, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to get the ball down low. Embiid was not being aggressive in that first quarter up until that point. And then from that moment on, when Caleb Martin had he had that three, and then he had the and one on the next play, and he scored 6 points in a row. Embiid made 4 straight buckets. And then we started to get things going. Basketball is a game of momentum. And the momentum changed when Caleb Martin got involved in the offense, and he put the team on his back for a couple of minutes. And then he had another couple of big buckets in that first quarter, too, after Embiid stopped the scoring. So for a little bit of time, it was Embiid, and then it was Martin, and then you sprinkle in a little bit of Paul George, and that was the end of the first quarter. And that's where they won the game. Philadelphia did not look back, and they did the same thing throughout the entire rest of the game. Was this an impressive win? No, it was not. It was not an impressive win. D'Angelo Russell got hurt, missed the whole entire second half. Ben Simmons didn't play. Cam Thomas didn't play. Cam Johnson didn't play. Trendon Watford didn't play. Bojan Bogdanovic didn't play. These are all really good players. I'm not telling you that the Brooklyn Nets are a top-tier team, but they have some great players. And so you did what you needed to do. And that's fine. Like, that's great. Like, I'm proud that they were able to do that. But am I, like, pumping my chest after a win like this? Heck no. I will tell you, though, Gershon Yabusele's dunk, when he's pumping chest with Joel Embiid, now that was something to celebrate. That was cool. That was very cool. And Embiid had a couple of dunks today again. Good signs of things in the right direction for the Sixers. Today we shot the ball 37.5% from three, but that doesn't tell the full story. Going into the fourth quarter, when we played Joel Embiid throughout those first 3 quarters, we shot the ball 45% from three, and that's why we won. Embiid was finding the wide-open shooters, and the guys were knocking down shots. That was big. Very nice. We out-rebounded the Nets. They didn't have any size tonight. We got 50 rebounds. Joel Embiid played like a man tonight. He was a man amongst boys in this game. 12 big rebounds. I couldn't really see the 12 in the last game, but this time I did. He was out hustling everybody. And the Sixers bench was outstanding. They were. They were outstanding today. They put up how many points? How many points did the bench score for us? 40 points. Very good. 40 points for the Sixers bench. Justin Edwards looked great off the bench today. I really want Justin Edwards to get more playing time, even when Kelly Oubre is back for the Sixers, because I do think that this guy can provide an impact. And the reason why he looks so cold out of the gates, well, think about it. Really, like, actually think about it. Why do you think he was cold? Because Nick Nurse doesn't play him. you don't get the reps, and you just throw them right into the fire, how do you think that they're going to do? Not so well. It sets them up for failure. Tonight, Nick Nurse set him up for success and was like, here you go. And he played in 23 minutes, and he had some big-time splashes from 3. He's fun to watch. I want to see him out there more. Adem Bonus, 7 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, another block. His chase down blocks are incredible. And the dunks that he has, when he is wide open, he is like, he's unstoppable, man. I don't want to say he's like Dwight Howard, but I really do feel like he has the potential to be a very physical center. You know, a guy that can just post up on so many guys that are smaller than him. And with the way that he can finish, there's, honestly, man, like the athleticism and all that stuff is there. The sky's the limit for this kid. He's cool. He's explosive. And I like that. Reggie Jackson had 8 points in 22 minutes. Played a lot of minutes today off the bench for the Sixers. Had one nice 3. Everybody did something good today except for Eric Gordon. Gordon actually had a steal, though. But it was a good game. Gershon only had 3 points today. He did not explode on offense. But again, sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not. And on a night like tonight, it didn't have to be his night. He was the only one that balled out in the last game against Golden State. And tonight, it just was not his night. But yeah, what are your final takeaways from that game? I thought that was a nice win, and the Sixers did everything that they had to do. They did what was asked of them, and they won the game with ease, and Joel Embiid didn't even have to sniff the floor in the fourth quarter. Good win. Let's read the chat, man. Let's read the chat. I said it was going to be 123-93. You were the closest. I said 130-95. But yeah, that was good stuff. I had to go to the bathroom. Sorry, I missed it. Yeah, 123-94. Any more thoughts on that game that you would want to share with me? Kyle Lowry needs to stay off the court. We'll say it every game, man. We will. We'll say it every single game. And yet they're not going to listen to us. But it was a nice win. Right? Like it was a good win. Not to get too high. Not getting too low after a game like this. This was good. A step in the right direction. And you did what you had to do. That's all I got, man. And if you guys have any other thoughts, like please comment down below. But that's all my thoughts. We closed out the road trip going 4-2. That's big. That's big. Yeah, JJ, but the Brooklyn Nets were playing without 10 players. I don't care. They did what they had to do. Doesn't matter who was out there. I asked them to beat this team down. And they did. They absolutely did. JJ was the closest that I wrote down, but if Illy said that, then he is correct. Yes. All right. I guess that's going to wrap things up. Tomorrow afternoon, we got the Eagles at 1 o'clock. And then we got the Vikings and Lions at 8:30. All right. We'll be on for those games. Now it's time to go cut some YouTube shorts. And that's going to wrap things up for me. But one more final word to describe that game. Final words, anybody? One word. One word to describe that game down below. I'll say, what's a good word? It was a sufficient win. Sufficient. Efficient win. Sorry. But sufficient means that they did enough. Isn't that correct? They had a sufficient game. Enough. Adequate. Yeah. Were they efficient too? They were. But sufficient is the word that I would use. I second guess myself, but sufficient is the word that I would use. What's the word that you would use before we sign off? B+, good win. B+. Okay, that's a good word. That's a grade. All right. That's it. That's it for me. All right. I'm done. I will see you all tomorrow afternoon. Go Birds. And next Sixers game is Monday night. They play the Suns. They play the Suns on Monday. And then Wednesday, who do they play? They play the Suns Monday. And that's at home. Then they play Washington. And then New Orleans and Orlando. I expect us to win 3 out of 4 games this weekend. 3 out of 4 games. I think that's pretty reasonable. So, one word is thanks. I know what you meant to say. You meant to say thanks, JJ. All right. And I will get back to your emails, and I will make sure that next week, we will make sure that we do our meet and greets for those of you that won on Christmas. Did not forget about you guys. Lavatov, good night. Catch you all in the next one. Bye.